Hi, Taurus. This will be your, whoops, the Hermit just fell out. The second half of August reading. So let's see what's going on. Sign of Taurus for the second half of August. All right. Right to it. For Tauruses, please watching this video. Highest, and clearest information for Tauruses watching this video. Clear story for Tauruses watching this video. Clear story for Taurus watching this video for the second half of August. Okay, one shuffle and we are good. Taurus, let's see what we got. Oh, you know what? Okay, so we start off right in the center with the Moon card. So interesting, could be some secrets, could be just shedding some light on something, or maybe you're just feeling a little down or melancholy lately, something like that. Oh, good. But there is something, with the Knight of Pentacles coming in, so that's cool. Let's see. Or, well, let me finish out here and see what's going on. Because it could be maybe you turn that down. Okay, that could be. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. All right. Not a super stellar message, but not horrible either, and probably just something that needs to probably be reconfirmed. So you'll probably know right away if this reading is for you or not. To me, it just seems like there's a little bit of disappointment or a little bit of worry and concern over some sort of offer. Now, I want to go with work on this one. This could be love. It's possible because there are cups in here. A lot of cups, actually. So it could be a love offer. It could be like just somebody that, you kind of thought was going to come through and be like this sort of go-to kind of guy or woman or whatever, just isn't all that. They're not there. And, they're not what they thought that they're not what you thought they were. Okay. You might have viewed them as being this sort of, kind of down to earth, practical, kind of, interesting, well-read, all those types of things kind of person. But the truth is, they're not, and there's just, not cracked up what it's supposed to be. I'll give both scenarios with work too. So I'll just stick with the love right now, and then we'll go into the work thing. Because I feel it's more of a work reading, but if it's love, I'll go with that first. So basically, to me, the foundation of this is somebody's walking away. Somebody's just sort of like, I've put a lot of effort into this, and, I've kind of done all I can, and I just don't feel like this is going anywhere. It's, maybe you're waiting on a proposal. Maybe you've been dating this person forever and you kind of thought they were going to pay off or, not pay off. That sounds so cool, but, like that the relationship was going to like go somewhere, but it's just not, and you're just kind of like, fine then, I think it's time I move on, even if it's been, 5 years or whatever, at the top of your reading, you have the Five of Cups. So, I can tell the whole vibe of this is just sort of, it's very melancholy, just sort of that kind of feeling, this is, sometimes it's just sadness. Sometimes it's regrets and remorse. Sometimes it's just, being sad and, thinking about, the good times that you used to have or how things used to work so well together, that kind of thing. Sometimes it's also to me about this kind of feeling invisible to the other person, like they're not really seeing you for the emotional qualities that you have put forth. And, it just kind of makes you feel like you're not important to them or, and not that is the case, but that just might be a feeling that you feel that way. In the near future, we have the Four of Cups. So this is somebody reaching out to you and offering you something, but it's kind of like you're not really that interested in it anymore. You're not satisfied with the offer. It's not enough, or it's just something that you just feel like it's, too little too late, or it's just not something you're interested in, so you're just kind of closed off to the idea, really. Um, Also, I have the Page of Swords in your position also. Sometimes this is kind of, it's news we don't necessarily want to hear, or it's just sort of, um, you kind of, there's a couple ways, you can look at this. Like I said, it can be news that we don't want to hear sometimes. But it's not horrible. It's not earth-shattering news or anything like that. Or it's like maybe you sort of start picking up a little bit from this like melancholy kind of feeling and go into a more, I don't want to say aggressive because it's not necessarily aggressive, but just sort of a more logical way of looking at things. Like, you know what? Like if it was a person, or something that you're involved with, well, that asshole, he didn't do this and he didn't do that, and you start like looking at the truth of the situation and being a little bit more logical and picking at things that like, and not unnecessarily like for a reason, like picking at things and like looking at them and going, that did suck. And, they really shouldn't have done this. And, and you're starting to like kind of get smart about the situation, a little bit. And it's like kind of waking up to you a little bit more about like, yeah, I am, going to look at this logically and not be all sad and heartbroken over this as much as I need to look at this logically. Also, the Page of Swords is also looking straight onto that card of walking away. All right. So it might be that you just come to the truth and realize that, you did do everything you can. You put in all you could and, it's kind of, just wasn't serving you. Now, in their position, they have the Wheel of Fortune. So something is changing for them. They are ending a cycle. They're starting a new one. We'll look at that in a second. Your outcome card, your hopes, dreams, and fears is Page of Pentacles. This is a position I don't pay too much attention to as a reader. I'm going to be honest because, unless it's like a really super major card that screams at me, it's like, because it's hopes, dreams, and fears. So, to me, it's like, whatever. I mean, I hope for $1 million, I fear death, so it's like, I don't know, what I'm saying, it doesn't really, go anywhere for me. So your outcome card is for those of you, Page of Pentacles, it's about starting something new, fresh, something that has potential. Sometimes it's about studying something, that sort of thing. In the work reading, like that we're going to do, if this is work, I will go into that. But for this love reading, it doesn't mean much to me. So with the outcome is the Eight of Swords. That doesn't tell me too much either, except there's a couple things. And this is why I think this reading is here. Because to be honest, I'm not really sure why it was here in the beginning when I'm reading it, because it's just kind of reconfirming what you already know, which is, yeah, I'm kind of down. I'm really kind of disappointed over this situation. I'm sad. There's an offer I'm not really thrilled about, so it's like, that's no fun to throw out there as a reading. And this card is a very it's a very common card also for an outcome card. Doesn't really grab me, but now it kind of makes sense. Because the thing about this card is that it is someone who knows the truth, but does not really want to face the truth. Okay, so deep down, in other words, this is somebody who knows exactly like what the issues are, but they kind of have been refusing to see them. All right. So I think that the reason this is your outcome card is to show you that this. You could keep putting work into this if you wanted to, but the thing is, I don't think you'll ever, it'll never bring the satisfaction that you hope to. And with the Queen of Swords here, after that, I think she's saying the same thing. Look, it's time to cut this out. This is not serving you. It's not going anywhere. It's just not where it should be, So I think that's why that card is there, because generally, this is one of my least favorite cards in the deck, not because of its connotations, but because it's so common that it's like everybody feels this way with some issue. It's such a common card to come out, because who doesn't know really what they should do, but doesn't want to face it, so, and I barely ever pay attention to it, but since it came out as this outcome card, it just seems to have much more strength in this reading. So I think it's a very key message that the signs are there, the issues are there. It's time to rip off the metaphorical blindfold and see what really is in front of you with this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave that for that and go into if this is a work reading, and it's going to be very similar message, just turned around a little bit. So it's kind of the same thing. There could have been an offer, because I see in the past we have the Three of Coin in the recent past. So that means there was some sort of collaboration between you and work or whatever. Things were probably pretty decent. Seemed like it was something that was off to a good start and had some possibilities to grow into something a little further. You were feeling pretty good, about everything. And now it's like this place or this, entity, whatever it is offering you something, but it's like not really what you want to do. And it could mean travel. Maybe that's why. Maybe they want you to like go somewhere, or something like that. Or maybe things are just changing within the company and, like they are phasing out, some sort of department or some sort of area of things that just, and they're like, well, we're phasing this out, Jim, but we'll offer you this, or Jane, and, but it's like, you're not really that thrilled with that. That's not really, what you do, so, that could be. And that could be why the hopes, dreams, and fears are Page of Pentacles, because perhaps you were hoping that, it would be something like in a different department that you would really enjoy, that maybe you had to study a little bit more for or learn a little something new, but you thought you would be okay. And that, yeah, it might be a little bit of a setback, but it's, it's just kind of not what you expected. And with that outcome card as the Eight of Swords, again, I think the truth of the matter is there's some issues. So if this is a company and it's like phasing out a department and offering you something else, I think that the real situation here is this company, like, is that just the start of the downfall? And maybe you kind of know that intuitively. That could be too. I know that's a very specific message, but that is probably one of them. Let's see what this Wheel of Fortune is coming towards. What is the Wheel of Fortune for this position, please? Yeah, with Judgment here, with the Wheel of Fortune, and this is in the outward position, so of like who you are dealing with. I think something's changing here. It could be legal issues of some sort that, I mean, there could be a renewal of things, but I'm just not feeling it. I feel like this is something like not working out, and on its way out. And you kind of got to look at the truth of the matter and change your strategy. So that's what I feel with this one. I think you'll be okay in the long run. I really feel this has something to do with legal issues as far as the company you are dealing with. So if it's a job that you were hoping to get or something like that, and I don't think it's your legal issues, like in other words, like your background check didn't pass, I don't feel like it's like that. I feel it like it's more like the company itself is just going through some sort of transition. So if you're hoping to get some kind of new job, there may be like, they might offer you something, but it's probably, a little below what you were expecting, so it would be like more of an entry level position rather than even if you're qualified to do a higher position. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to leave that there. Let me see something real quick, because that's not a super positive way to go. Let me see something really quick here. What it is. Okay, so here's the thing. If you were to take that metaphorical blindfold off that we were talking about as the outcome, okay? So in either situation, love or work, whatever. All right. So if you were to kind of take that blindfold off, look at those issues, see what they are, start strategizing, and really see things for what they are and address them in such a way, which again, here you go. Here's at the bottom of the deck. You have a choice. You have a choice to either stay like that. That was your outcome card. Or this would be the outcome if you were to take off the blindfold. You have the Lover's card, all right, which again is a choice, okay? So, that's possible. It could be a choice between two people, perhaps, but either way, it's a positive card. It's that you would make a good choice, okay? It's a very compatible card. Also, you have the Magician, also, which is very awesome and Taurusy, okay? And it's also kind of saying you've got all the tools you need to pull this off. You are perfectly capable. Now, your last card is the Six of Cups. So this leans more towards love for me. This is sort of more of a fondness and kind of a very sweet relationship. It could even be a gift of some sort that could come at the right time, from somebody, from even a close friend or something like that. Maybe they put you in connect with something if it's the job stuff, or it's just kind of, it's a very good positive card for balance, harmony, things like that. You have two harmony cards here, two balance cards, and right in the middle of those is the Magician. So you have the ability to do this, okay? But this has to come off. This energy has to go, and look at the issues at hand and strategize. That's the important thing. You have really good cards if that happens, okay? So, all right, Taurus, I'll leave you there. And if you enjoyed this, let me know. And what else was it? Oh, and all my information's at the bottom of the video. So, all right, guys, thanks, and I will see you for September. All right, thanks.